So hi everyone, welcome to our new season. Here we are going to launch a series for get questions, get mathematics questions just by shorts, just by taking some time from you. So basically, we will solve electrical engineering paper questions of mathematics. So the question is here: consider the function f of t, where maximum of 0 comma t and its square is our function, where minus infinity to infinity and max of a comma b denotes the maximum of ab, and it has been asked which one of the following statements is or are true. So basically our function is f of t, right? So what is our f of t? F of t is basically maximum of 0 comma t and its square. So but there is a two range here. From minus infinity to 0, it is the case 1, and from 0 to infinity it is the case 2. So for minus infinity to 0, what is the maximum between 0 and t? 0 is the maximum here because its range is all about minus infinity to 0. So 0 is maximum for first case, but in second case from 0 to infinity our maximum of 0 and t, maximum between 0 and t is nothing but t, right? So our f of t is getting changed when our range is getting changed. That means for first case, our f of t is basically 0 and its square was given in our given function. So it's basically 0 square is 0, right? But in case of case 2, as t is maximum from 0 to infinity range, so f of t is basically t and its square is case 2, as t is maximum from 0 to infinity range, so f of t is basically t and its square is nothing but t square, right? Now, in our options, what are the things are given? It is all about f of t, and sometimes it has been asked for its derivative. Its derivative means f of t, derivative of f of t is nothing but f dash of t. So we need to also calculate the f dash of t case. So for first case, that is f of t, when our f of t was 0, here f dash of t will be again 0. But in the second case, where our f of t was t squared, our f dash of t it will be 2 or t, right? Now, for differentiability and continuous, we know that if any graph is continuous, I can say that the function is continuous. But in case of differentiability, there is a point that if there is any sharp point, then the function will not be differentiable, right? So first of all, we have to draw the graph of f of t and then f dash of t. So what is the graph of f of t? For f of t minus infinity to 0, f of t lies in 0, right? So that's why it is the 0 line, basically it is here, right? I think it's visible to you. But for 0 to infinity, the graph is t square. The function is t square. So t square, the x square like curve. So this is basically the curve. So I can say that this graph is continuous, and as this is a straight line and this is a parabolic type of curve, so there is no sharp point here, right? So I can say f of t is continuous. It is continuous as well as it is differentiable. It is differentiable. Now, in case of f dash of t, how the graph will look like? The graph will look like for f dash of t minus infinity to 0 range, the graph will be 0, zero line graph, basically. But after solving f dash of t, you can say it is 2t. So 2t is nothing but a constant line, so I can draw like that. But what is happening here? As there is two straight line, so there is a sharp point here. So as there is a sharp point, I can say that this is not differentiable. This is not differentiable, but it is obviously continuous. There is no cutoff point, but as there is a sharp point here, so this function is not differentiable. That means the f of t is continuous and differentiable, but f dash of t is continuous. Obviously, it's continuous, but not differentiable. Not differentiable. So let's take for the option. Here it is given f of t is not differentiable, but yes, we know that f of t is differentiable. That's why it's wrong. Now, the second option is f of t is differentiable. Its derivative is continuous. Yes, it is true. F dash of t is continuous and f of t is differentiable. So option B is correct. Now